While chronic stress has long been linked to premature aging, the lives of centenarians tell a more nuanced story, one not of the complete absence of adversity, but of remarkable psychological resilience in the face of it. Emerging research suggests that it is not simply relaxation or freedom from hardship that promotes longevity, but rather the ability to adapt to stress effectively. Psychological resilience, the capacity to recover, adapt, and even grow in response to stress, is increasingly seen as a core biological and behavioral trait of exceptionally long-lived individuals. It influences hormonal balance, immune function, and even the pace of epigenetic aging. Cortisol, often labeled the stress hormone, plays a key role in the physiological stress response, regulating energy availability, immune reactivity, and metabolic processes. However, persistent elevation of cortisol, as seen in individuals experiencing chronic psychological stress, is associated with numerous aging-related pathologies, including cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, depression, and cognitive decline. Chronically high cortisol levels also impair hippocampal function, compromise immune surveillance, and promote systemic inflammation, all processes that accelerate biological aging. By contrast, centenarians consistently demonstrate more favorable cortisol profiles. Studies show that they tend to have lower basal cortisol levels and more stable diurnal rhythms, suggesting a well-regulated hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis. This hormonal balance is indicative of a system that can respond to stress when necessary, but does not remain hyperactivated in a harmful way. Importantly, these patterns often persist in centenarians' offspring, suggesting a heritable or early life programmed component to stress regulation. Resilience in long-lived individuals is not just physiological, it also has profound psychological dimensions. Centenarians are frequently described as possessing high levels of emotional stability, optimism, adaptability, and a capacity to find meaning even in difficult circumstances. Many report having lived through war, personal loss, or economic hardship, yet maintaining a sense of purpose and positive outlook. These traits not only buffer psychological distress, but may modulate stress reactivity at a biological level, influencing cortisol regulation, immune balance, and neuroplasticity. The epigenetic landscape also reflects the imprint of stress. Epigenetic aging clocks, which estimate biological age based on DNA methylation patterns, have shown that chronic stress, particularly when experienced early in life, accelerates epigenetic aging. This means the body accumulates molecular signatures of aging faster than expected based on chronological age alone. Such acceleration has been linked to increased risk for chronic diseases, cognitive decline, and mortality. Interestingly, studies of resilient individuals, including long-lived populations, often show a slower pace of epigenetic aging. Centenarians tend to have DNA methylation patterns consistent with a younger biological age, suggesting that their bodies maintain more youthful gene expression profiles despite advancing years. Psychological resilience may contribute to this by reducing the biological embedding of stress, meaning that their life experiences, while often difficult, do not leave a lasting molecular scar. Stress also interacts with telomere dynamics, another marker of biological aging. Telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes, shorten with each cell division and are sensitive to oxidative stress and inflammation. Chronic psychological stress has been associated with accelerated telomere attrition, while greater perceived control and emotional regulation are correlated with longer telomeres. Centenarians often maintain relatively long telomeres or exhibit mechanisms that preserve telomere integrity, potentially linked to their stress buffering traits. The immune system, which is highly responsive to both psychological and physical stressors, also reflects this resilience. Chronic stress skews immune function toward pro-inflammatory states, suppresses antiviral responses, and contributes to immune senescence. In contrast, the immune systems of centenarians are characterized by preserved T-cell diversity, active natural killer (NK) cells, and low levels of inflammatory cytokines such as IL-6 and TNF-A. These features point to a more balanced and efficient immune response, possibly supported by both genetic factors and lifelong psychosocial resilience. One of the most compelling aspects of stress resilience in aging is its trainability. While some elements may be inherited or shaped in early development, others, such as cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation, and coping strategies, can be cultivated at any age. Practices like mindfulness, Cognitive behavioral therapy, social engagement, and physical activity all support healthier stress responses. Importantly, these interventions have also been linked to slower epigenetic aging, improved immune profiles, and enhanced psychological well-being in older adults. In sum, longevity is not defined by the absence of stress, but by the presence of an adaptive and balanced response to it. Centenarians offer a living model of this principle. Individuals who have experienced substantial life stressors, yet managed to buffer their biological systems from long-term harm. Their lives challenge the assumption that avoiding stress is the key to healthy aging. Instead, they suggest that cultivating resilience, psychological, physiological, and cellular, may be one of the most powerful longevity interventions of all. As science continues to unravel the links between psychological traits, molecular aging, and long-term health, resilience is emerging as both a biological asset and a public health target. Supporting individuals in developing more adaptive stress responses through early life support, community connections, mental health care, and personalized interventions could play a central role in extending not just the length of life, but the quality of it.